We've been talking about spiritual warfare. In the process of talking about spiritual warfare, we're going talking about, in the last lesson we talked about, when you tear it down. But we talked about who to fight. Y'all remember who to fight?
Yes.
Who is it? Who those three? Okay, myself, our flesh, and demonic influences. Amen. Amen. Our sense of self, our flesh, and demonic influences in our lives. Those are three enemies that we need to know and be ready to deal with. Amen. So we have to crucify. Then we have to destroy through the Spirit of God. Amen. Amen. And remember that the last one that we destroyed through the Spirit of God, the demonic influence. And if we crucify those first two, then we can handle that third one. Yes.
Pastor, I like the last time we talked about that. You said the flesh is going to get it. I like that. I like that. The flesh is going to get it.
Yeah, bro. Ain't no good thing. And it's trying to take you with it.
Yes, sir.
Amen. And the enemy was seeing people, situations, and circumstances to stroke your flesh and your sense of self to get you out of the will of God. And it appears here that the enemy is friendly when it starts. And so those are the things we have to watch for. We were talking earlier today, and we were there yesterday, and about the Revelation said sometimes too much stroking is not good for anybody.
Too much what?
Stroking.
Like pacifying.
Yeah.
Exalting and flattering.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it elevates our sense of self. And rather than put us more in a position that we serve and worship God, it takes us away from our position in God. And it puts us in a position where we do things for ourselves and rather than God. And so because the walk with God, we got to remember it was a sacrificial walk. And so when we get into the sense of self, we walk out of that sacrificial walk. And so, and it's good that, why do you think Jesus fasted? Why do you think Jesus fasted? Yeah.
Because he was
in the flesh and had a sense of self. And if Jesus had to overcome evils, if Jesus had to overcome evils, if Jesus had to overcome demons,
wow. What about
us?
What about it?
That sense of self and that flesh that works together. So that's when we were talking about who to fight. I want to start shifting tonight. Any other questions about who to fight? Anybody know we gave this out? Okay. Now, what I want to move into is start talking about how to fight, so that we know how to fight this spiritual warfare. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, so we can begin to talk about how to fight. And I want to give you a how to. I don't want you to know the fight, I don't know how to fight. A boxer who hasn't been in the training will get knocked out real quick. You're on train, you don't get knocked out very quick. 2 Corinthians, 10th chapter. 10th chapter. And I'm thankful for the Lord. And for the goodness of the Lord and the Lord and the all right, if I can get a reader to read the first 6 verses for us.
From 10 through 16?
No, 1 through 10.
1 through 10, okay. So you stand firm. So I made up my mind that I would not
Hold on, second, Second Corinthians chapter 10.
By the meekness and gentleness of Christ, I appeal to you, I, Paul, who am timid, when face to face with you, but bold when away. I beg you that when I come, I may not have to be as bold as I expect to be toward some people who think that we live by the standards of this world. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And we will be ready to punish every act of disobedience once your obedience is complete.
Thank you. Amen. Now, and here, Paul, Apostle Paul is talking, first of all, notice what he's not talking about, the meekness and gentleness of Christ. Do you know why the Bible speaks so much of the meekness and gentleness of Christ? Here's the reason. First of all, when he said he came in the flesh, but he came with almost unlimited power. And even though he did not have the fullness of his power, still what he brought was so far beyond his word. Now, had he not walked in gentleness, yes.
So he didn't have the fullness.
Okay, all right. And no, he did not have the fullness of his power. Let me tell you how I know. You remember when he was got ready before his crucifixion, he said, Father, no, he said, restore me with the glory that I once had. The glory that I once had. See, he could not bring the fullness with him. Because the fullness couldn't fit in the human body. Now, he was God, but not with the fullness of his all power. And understand, he is the living power of creation. And so the body could contain all of it, but not all the fullness. So in that, he comes, but he still got power that's almost unlimited. And if he would come with an arrogant, mean, boastful nation, I mean, he could have already had it on stuff. He could never went to the cross. If he'd have been arrogant and boastful, he'd have never went to the cross. But y'all do. You think I'm going to let y'all do me like that? Yeah, you don't want to go get me there. So he had to walk, and here's what you got to understand. The more power and authority that's been given to you, the easier you have to learn to walk. Because when you got a lot of authority and power and you move, stuff move with you. You shift and stuff shift with you. You stop, stuff will move, stop moving. So God has to give you a gentleness, a meekness to be able to deal with. Because he gives power and arrogance instant corruption. Power and anger, somebody will get hurt. But it's a meanness. If you get angry and sin not. Power and meanness. Yeah. And so he walked in humility, put himself in that state. because it was needed to deal with all the way in. And so he starts talking about the meekness of Christ. And the reason why I'm saying that, don't say Christ was presented weak because he was weak.
Amen.
It was just the opposite. He was so powerful, he had to be used as being weak. I know. And so, but being absent, and so what he goes on to say, he goes on to tell us that we in a fight, but we don't fight according to the flesh or the ways of this world. Amen. We don't use the worldly ways, and what we have to learn to do is not fight like the world. Cuss each other out, kill each other, beat each other up, do each other wrong, and backstab each other. That's the way of the world. When you get me, I'm going to get you back. Venge for the nation. And so, but that's not the way of God. God does not fight with the carnal things. Now, here's what you got to understand. If you fight with carnality, then even if you win the battle, you defeat yourself.
Still, that's it. Amen. That's it.
Yeah. If you fight carnally, even though you win the battle, you still lost. Because you got to pay for what you did. And so, but when you fight spiritually, God is fighting with you. In fact, he knew the fight. And so what we have to learn to do is learn to fight by God's means. And for those who just come in, we're in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1 through 6. All right, and so, and so we got to be confident in this. And though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh. And we got to understand that we are in the